Hello, sweet, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Divine Alignment. How do we create from our future self? How do we create from the now moment as opposed to our past? That is what we're going to be diving into today. And before we do, just a couple quick announcements. If you have not signed up yet, we are doing Co-Creatorship Step 1. It's coming up very shortly. So I'm going to put the link for that below. This is really how we step into a co-creatorship with the divine, with our soul and source. This is the first step. It's levels of consciousness, understanding energy and energetics. This will completely change the game. I am really excited for this event. I'm going to be giving you guys so many tools, so many tips. And more so than just tools and tips, because that's not what I want you to understand this on a somatic level. I want you to understand. So that's what we're going to be diving into. It's going to be, yes, practical stuff, very practical stuff that you can use every single day. I hope you do. It will change your life. And then also, how do we embody this and know this deeply within ourselves? It's going to be really good. So if you haven't signed up, go ahead and click that link. And then the other update is I have only offered this previously for clients, and I am now extending it out to everyone else. So I am typically offered continuation for Voxer support. Voxer support is just where you have access to me, sending me questions, voice notes, and I just tap in, see what you need. We do whatever clearing is needed, whatever activation, whatever release, whatever guidance. And these have been so potent, these containers, that I've decided to offer them to people who are not clients or past clients, because these are showing that in some cases, like, just as effective, if not more effective, because sometimes I find people come to sessions and they're very like, they want to get a lot done, and I totally get it. And we get a lot of shit done. But this allows you to have the time and space to integrate a little bit more and to ask questions as they arise. And this is just a different type. Like, I'm still going to be using all of my quantum tools. Like, we're going to be doing clearings, activations. I mean, really, though, whatever spirit leads and guides, we can work on money and opening money pathways and portals and releasing the blocks and resistance. We can work on relationships and healing whatever traumas are preventing you from receiving that abundance of love, your mission, your purpose, and then, of course, your health and well-being. It does not matter whether we are in front of a screen, in person, or a phone. I'm able to tap into your energy and just understand what the body, the spirit, the soul are needing. So I absolutely do these clearings and guidance from any place. It doesn't matter. Yeah, energy is energy, which you're going to see if you come to co-creatorship step 1. So yes, I'm going to put the link for that as well. And just send me a DM on Instagram or an email if you have any questions, or if you are wondering, because there are going to be different options. There's a 2-day, 1 week, and then 1 month option is what spirit guided for people needing right now. Okay, so if you have any questions about that and or want to book one of those, just reach out to me. Everything will be linked below. So how do we create from the future and now moment? So it's going to be creating from the now moment. However, what we want to do is pull from a future vision that inspires the now, as opposed to creating from the past. This has been something really relevant for me and my life, of course, as well as clients. And really, if we just look back, I think it's actually very relevant for the entirety of our journey, really, truly. Whether you're into health and spirituality and wellness, or you're just like your average day-to-day, like not into this stuff, which if that's you, you're probably not watching, but this is so important if we want to create a change. You know, there are those instances where just like wild manifestations just drop in out of nowhere. But more likely than not, there's something that triggered you to do something different and to inspired you or inspired another to act and think in a different way. Now, we have to, there's action required in this. And one of the things that's always bothered me so much about the personal development is just like there's this idea of just like take massive action. Just take massive action. Well, yours truly as a projector, that just felt so icky to me because I'm like, no, that's just no, it just doesn't feel good. And massive action towards what? Towards what? Am I just keeping myself busy just to do this action thing? No, we take aligned action. And what is aligned action? Aligned action is inspired action. And inspired action is a knowing of this feels so right and natural for me to do that it doesn't feel like force. It doesn't feel like something I should do. It's just a natural flow. And that's the thing too, is many people are feeling exhausted. They're feeling fatigued. They're feeling tired. They're feeling burnt out because they've been taking massive action. So you think you think the solution is just take more action? No, it's understanding and actually slowing down, calming the nervous system, dropping into the body so that we can see that future self, that guidance from our higher self. And that inspires the now. And when we're expanding the now moment, all time, all space is malleable, is creative playground for us to create in. And for me, I've been really thinking about like how many of my actions throughout the day are just habitual. We do need habitual actions, otherwise it would be absolutely exhausting to be consciously tuning in for every now, like, okay, how do I need to brush my teeth, right? How do I need to shower? What would be the most inspired way to shower? Like, we don't need to do it for everything. There are some things that are good to just have on autopilot, but even some of those things, it's nice to create a new environment for ourselves. And we can do that simply by changing very simple things, like doing things with your opposite hand or mixing around your routine, right? So this isn't to say you have to do everything differently, but perhaps starting to do things in different ways and mixing up your routine and mixing up the way you do things. Because when we do this, we then get in a different frame of mind. When we're in a different frame of mind, we have new thoughts drop in, we have new solutions drop in, we're in a new energy, right? So then we can see different solutions and outcomes, and we then want to take different actions. Okay. So the visual that I see for this is very interesting. And I think that this will really like hopefully give you some light bulb moments, because I know it did for me. So what I saw is that, like, imagine a rabbit chasing a carrot. They're on the hamster wheel, or they're just chasing a carrot. You know, in those cartoons where it was like they would have this stick like on their back so that it was like coming out and just dangling in front of them. So it could be any, choose your animal. But like a rabbit, and they have carrot just dangling in front of them. And it's tied to their back. So they're running, they're running, they're running, they're running faster and faster and faster because they just want to get this carrot that's dangling right in front of them. And this is how much of us are viewing the things we want. We see it. We know it's right here because it is. And so we just want to run faster and faster and faster and take more action and get there. But what happens is we get so exhausted from chasing something that's right here. Because what happens is we get so tunnel visioned on what's right here. We think that we want carrot. Bunny wants carrot. Rabbit wants carrot. What we don't realize is that while we were too busy looking at just the singular carrot right in front of us, we didn't see there were all these carrots all around us. That we've passed so many carrots on our way while we were running. And there's still more up ahead. They're everywhere. There's carrots everywhere. Every grocery store you can go to, there's carrots. You didn't miss any. They're all here. They're waiting for you. And this is what happens for things that we're wanting in our lives. The relationships, the health, the money, living your soul's purpose and mission. They're here. And they might look different than you think. They might not look like the carrot right in front of you. This is part of the matrix. I just have to say it. This is part of the matrix, dangling something in front of you, telling you this is what you want, and making it just far enough away that you can't get it. Meanwhile, what you really desire is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's waiting for you. It's inviting you in. It's an opportunity to be courageous enough, though, to look beyond what we see right in front of us. Because the irony, though, is that it's all around us. What we are desiring is all around us. Because Source, God, the universe is everything. And so what you're desiring, that source is within. And there might be multiple iterations of it. But if we're acting from a past version of ourselves, we're going to continue to chase the carrot that's right in front of us because that's all we know. That's all we know. And this isn't to say like just give up if you've been chasing something. It's saying that it might just look a little bit different than you think. There might be like a carrot on the way that would give you so much sustenance and nourishment so that you can make a new decision and see a new perspective on your way to the greater carrot, right? So this isn't always that whatever you're chasing right in front of you is bad. However, I will say that there are a lot of things that we have been told that we need, that we want, that we should want, we should need. And meanwhile, those are preventing us from accessing and having what we really want, what would really deeply fulfill us on a soul level, on a true soul level. And that's truly why I'm doing this co-creatorship, because I want people to understand how to access soul and spirit I want people to create from this place and understand that. So if you haven't signed up, we're going to be diving into the step 1. But when we are creating from the past, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that we're going to see the same things. And it can be valuable for us to continue to build this repetition in whatever we're seeking and desiring. Because the last thing I want anyone to ever think is that they're not making progress, because you absolutely are. The whole idea that we could ever go backwards is in and of itself backwards. It's impossible. Whatever you're doing, you're still learning, you're still gaining insights and wisdom. So we don't want anyone to ever think that they've been doing it wrong, or that they haven't been learning, or that it hasn't been, that it's wasted time, because it's not. It's not wasted time. It could never be. But so many of these beliefs are so ingrained into our subconscious of how we are and how we see things and how the world is, that it becomes very difficult. This is like the human paradox of being a human, of having a mind, or a brain rather, that stores many things that keep us safe and alive, but don't always necessarily bring us happiness. However, I do believe that we have all of the tools necessary and all around us to rewire this and recreate this so that we can be truly happy. And this doesn't mean that we're not going to ever struggle. You know, I feel like I should read it. I received this message this morning in my channeling about struggle and suffering. So this perspective, this was weaved within the message that I received this morning. So they said, allowing suffering from this point forward, allow suffering from this point forward to be optional if you so choose. This does not mean that you will not struggle, but you do not need to suffer. It is important to understand the difference between these words. To struggle is to grow and to build strength. It is temporary and acknowledged as part of the process and the journey. To suffer is to prolong, elongate, and be the victim of whatever is challenging or difficult. Choose to overcome struggles and see them as opportunities, and you will transcend suffering. I thought this was a really beautiful perspective, which, by the way, I shared in my Telegram group. If you're not in, I share channeled messages there. It's a very private, small group, so I'm not advertising it publicly very much. But if you want the link, just send me a DM on Instagram. And anyways, I really appreciated that perspective of, we're going to have struggles. We're absolutely going to have struggles, such as seeing the carrot right in front of us and thinking we can't get to it. This doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong or bad or anything like that. But do we have to suffer? Do we have to suffer on our way to whatever we're creating? And many would say too, like, if you have to suffer the whole way to get what you're wanting, how are you going to actually enjoy when you get there? How are you going to enjoy something that the foundation is built upon suffering? If you're building a house and the entire time you're building it, you're hating your life and you're so miserable and you're so sad and you're taking massive action that doesn't feel good, do you think you're going to feel really good living in that house? So many of us are creating the house of our lives, the environment of our lives built upon what we think we should do and past traumas and stories. But when we can free ourselves from that and see the future part of ourselves, like ask divine, ask your soul and source, what is the highest version of me doing? What does he or she want to be doing? Because this isn't about appeasing anyone else. This is about you and your soul and your path, and no one else can walk that path except for you. No one. I want everyone to have this level of sovereignty, this level of freedom within them. And I'm not saying I have achieved it by any means, but I continue to peel back these layers of seeing the imprinting, the limitations that we have placed upon ourselves. I see it in my clients, I see it in myself, I see it in society, that we think that we don't have power sometimes, and we have so much power. And I really believe we're overcomplicating it in so many ways, and the solution is simple. Solution is simple. It's downloading from source in your soul and making decisions as you expand and embrace the now moment. You understand exactly where you're supposed to go. You see the vision. You see the expanded part of you. And I want everyone to have this. Everyone's going to be led through an activation in co-creatorship to download your soul's true essence. That's going to be incredible. But for now, just get present, get still with what feels good to me, what nourishes me. Not everyone else, what nourishes me, what excites me, what inspires me. And play with it. Don't be so serious. That's like one of my biggest things is that I'm learning personally, is like not being so serious, having more fun. Because when we're in that energy, that is when we have the inspiration, the downloads, the clarity. All right, my loves. So with that, go create from your highest truth, from your highest excitement, from your highest love. All of your dreams, all of your desires, all of your anything you want, it's yours. Your dreams are dreaming you. All right. And so with that, I am sending you all infinite love and light.